Okay, hello everyone. If I could just get a quick response letting me know that you can all hear me, I'd appreciate that. We're ready to get started. Oh, hi Anthony, thank you. I appreciate that. This is the Lightspeed free webinar, What You Need to Know About the Pattern Day Trade Rule. Thank you all for joining us today. So I am running everything, with everything going on with the COVID virus, I am running everything from home. So if for some reason there is a technical issue, just bear with me. We'll get it restarted fairly quickly if there's any problem, but just wanted to let everyone know that in advance. We're set for about a 30-minute presentation. If you have questions, we do have a lot of people signed up today, so if you do have questions, please just wait to ask them when we ask for questions. We might do it periodically and just for questions pertaining to the material that we've covered just preceding. If you have a question that doesn't apply to anything that we're talking about or something different, wait to the end. We will also ask for questions at the end. All right. So to get started, we have our disclaimer that we need to read. This presentation is for informational purposes only. Nothing presented today should be construed as investment advice or a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any security or contract. Since we don't know everyone's investment objectives or risk tolerance, we are not endorsing any specific trading strategies. Security, derivative, and futures trading involves the substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Each investor must consider whether this is a suitable investment, since you may lose all or more than your initial investment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Lightspeed is a division of Lime Brokerage LLC. Lime Brokerage LLC is not affiliated with these third-party market commentators, educators, or service providers. Data, information, and material are provided for informational and educational purposes only. This content neither is nor should be construed as an offer, solicitation, or recommendation to buy or sell any securities or contracts. Any investment decisions made by the user through the use of such content is solely based on the user's independent analysis, taking into consideration your financial circumstances, investment objectives, and risk tolerance. Lime Brokerage LLC does not endorse, offer, nor recommend any of the services or commentary provided by any of the market commentators, educators, or service providers, and any information used to execute any trading strategies are solely based on the independent analysis of the user. Okay, that was a mouthful. So, our next slide. So my name is Joe Ely. As I said, I'm a registered representative at Lightspeed. If you have questions, want a demo of our trading platform, would like to open an account, you can reach me via email. Email is jely@limebrokerage.com. At the end of the webinar, we're going to randomly draw one person. One lucky attendee of this webinar will be randomly selected to win a Lime duffel bag. If for some reason I go to end the webinar and don't raffle off the bag, please just post a question. I'll make sure that I do it. I have been known to forget from time to time. So I have a handful of slides here set up with some general points. But before we get started, just wanted to give you some background on myself. I started in the online trading industry in 1996, way back when online trading was really in its infancy. It was back during a time when the common order routes used were SOS, SelectNet, Island, Bloomberg, and things of that nature. Since '96, I have primarily been in the online trading industry, working for retail broker-dealers that offer trading services to active traders. Very much similar to Lightspeed and what I'm doing, what we're all doing today. All right. So to be clear, I just wanted to really put this out there, that this webinar is not really at all about how to trade against the pattern day trade rule. It's really how to cater your trading style to conform to the rules. With that said, I think you're going to be very surprised at the options that you have to actively trade. There's a lot of different things out there. There's a lot of misinformation, and we really want to help clarify the rules and what is allowed and what's not allowed, and how you can trade. I'm going to start with the basic pattern day trade rules and facts, discuss some of the most obvious and probably widely known options and facts about the PDT rule, and then get into maybe some more of the less widely known options. So to start out, I just wanted to read what FINRA states as the U.S. securities regulator. It states what the pattern day trade rule is. And this is really a summary that FINRA put out. The rules adopt the term pattern day trader, which includes any margin customer, so you have to be a margin customer, that day trades. That means buys, then sells, or sells short, then buys the same security on the same day. That's fairly well known. Everyone knows that. A day trade is when you buy something and sell it, or sell it short and then buy it back in the same day. If you do that 4 or more times in any rolling 5-day period, 5 business days, then you're considered a pattern day trader. They go on to state that it must constitute more than 6% of your total trading activity for that to apply. If you execute 4 day trades in any rolling 5-day period, you're considered a pattern day trader. And under the rules, you must maintain $25,000 or more on any day that you execute a day trade. That $25,000 must be in the account prior to any day trading activities. If the account falls below the $25,000 requirement, the pattern day trader will not be permitted to day trade until the account is restored to the $25,000 minimum equity level. Does anyone have a basic question about just that rule? I'll just give everyone 10, 15 seconds to post a question if you have any. So that's what the rule states and what you're allowed to do. Someone asks if it's a cash account, it does not apply. That is correct to an extent, and we'll get into the cash account portion of it later. So here's just some examples. Some people, for whatever reason, don't recognize exactly what the rule means. So it's defined as opening and closing the same position on the same calendar day. You open a trade on Monday and sell it on Tuesday, that is not a day trade. Day trades are counted based on opening transactions. So this is fairly important for people that might scale in or scale out of positions. So day trades are counted based on opening transactions. If you buy 300 shares of WXYZ, for example, on the same day, and then sell 100, then sell 100 later, then sell 100 later in the day, that's considered one day trade because your opening transaction was one trade for 300 shares. If on the same day you buy 100 shares of another stock, ABC, then later in that day buy another 100 shares of ABC, and then at the end of the day you sell the 200, the entire position, that's considered 2 day trades because there were 2 opening transactions. Anyone have questions about that? Someone asked a question. Suppose you have a $30,000 account and a trade goes against you $6,000 and now you're down to $24,000. Are you allowed to sell your position? Yes, absolutely. So the rule states that you're allowed to day trade as long as your starting balance for the day is $25,000 or more. So as long as you start the day at $25,000 or more, you can day trade, even if you go below $25,000 during the day. Now, the opposite also does apply. If you do have a $24,000 account, you make $1,000 that day, and you're over 25, you cannot day trade that day because you did not start the day at 25,000 or more. The following day, when your equity is 25,000 or greater, then you would be able to day trade. let's see. Jose, you asked a question. I'm not exactly sure what the question is. If you can maybe clarify, I'd appreciate that. Moving on to the next slide. So if you want to be a fully funded pattern day trade account, you have to fund with $25,000 or ideally more. If you lose $1, you fund with $25,000 exactly. You lose $1 your first day trading, you're at $24,999. The next day, you're not going to be able to trade. So I definitely recommend putting in more money. Whatever risk capital you have that you can afford to risk, put it in the account. A lot of traders start with $30,000, but there's surely plenty that start with $26,000. Obviously, a lot of traders that have more risk capital, they put in more money. So as long as you have $25,000 in your account, you get 4-to-1 leverage for day trading and 2-to-1 leverage for overnight positions on fully marginable stocks. So for those that don't know, we'll just use 30,000 as a round number in our example. So if you fund an account with 30,000, you have $120,000 to day trade with. At the end of the day, the max position size that you can hold is 2 times that. So the max that you can hold overnight would be 60,000 of fully marginable stocks. Anyone have questions on that? I'm going to read through the questions here and see what we have. Someone asks, can you buy then sell options with a cash account? Not exactly sure how exactly that would work. So you want to buy options then sell options in a cash account. You can buy and sell options in a cash account based on available cash, and we're going to talk about that further in the presentation. So this is a good question. Anise asks, day trading counts for stocks and options. So if you day trade options, the same rule applies. So the PDT rule applies for stocks and options. So the next few slides really cover what to do if you don't have $25,000 to trade. What are your options and how do you do it? And that's what we're going to cover here. So Lightspeed does allow traders to fund an account with a minimum of $10,000, and you can trade at 2-to-1 leverage. Even though your account is below $25,000, you can still day trade, but you must limit your trades to a maximum of 3 day trades in any rolling 5-day period. So if you fund an account with $10,000, you could do 3 day trades in any rolling 5-day period, and that's 5 business days, and still adhere to the rule. As long as you stay within these limits, you can trade for as long and as much as you want with less than $25,000. But again, you must count your trades. It's a rolling 5 days. It's not a week. It's not a calendar week. It's any rolling 5-day period. Someone states that they're new to trading, and if they open an account, how will I know if it's a marginal account or not? During the new account opening process, we offer 3 different options: a cash account, a margin account, and a day trading short account. So a cash account is obviously cash, 1-to-1. You don't get any leverage. You have to wait for trades to settle. So stock trades settle in 2 business days. Options trades settle in 1 business day. A regular margin account gives you 2-to-1 leverage, and then the day trading margin and short account. That's if you have $25,000 or more. You get 4-to-1 leverage for day trading and 2-to-1 for overnight. Someone asked a good question. Lauren, if your account drops below 25,000, do you still have ability to buy with leverage at 4 to 1? No. So if you start above 25,000, then you fall below, you're really limited to just 2 to 1 leverage. This next slide, another option if you don't have 25,000 to trade. You can open a cash account. You can open a cash account with 10,000 to trade. Obviously, you cannot violate the free riding rule, but once a trade settles, you can use the funds again. Again, like I said just a minute ago, stocks settle in 2 business days and options settle in 1 business day. So what does that mean? If you, for example, if you buy a stock on Monday, you sell it on Monday, you don't get those funds back until the trade settles on Wednesday. But when you get the money back on Wednesday, you can use it again. Options, they would settle on Tuesday. So if you buy an option and sell an option, the same option on Monday, you get the funds back on Tuesday. Now, people have come to me with various different scenarios by trading a cash account. People take their balance, their $10,000 balance, and they can, split it up however they want and use the funds accordingly. So it's completely up to them as to how they use them, but it's only available on a cash basis. You have to wait for the trade to settle to get the money back. Anyone have questions on that option? Anthony has a good question or a good point. He says, so can I open an account with $10,000, trade and build it up, and then switch to a leverage account type? Absolutely. If you open and fund an account, you trade on cash with $10,000. Once you get to $25,000 or more, you have to fill out a margin agreement. It's a short document, but once you do that, you hit the 25,000. We can change your account to a margin account, and you can day trade on margin. David has a kind of a funny. Oh, there we go. He corrected it. He says, so if you have a cash account on a cash basis, can you do 10 trades in 5 days? You could, as long as you have the cash available. Another option for traders, if you don't have the 25,000, you can possibly trade futures. The PDT rule does not apply to futures. So you can open an account with a minimum of $10,000 and trade everything from the S&P 500, NASDAQ, Dow, futures, oil, gold, commodities, and foreign currency futures at Lightspeed. We offer futures trading on the EMS software, which is formerly known as Realtic. You can trade using eFutures. One of our divisions is eFutures, powered by CQG. CQG is another futures trading platform. So, you fund an account with $10,000. You can trade as many, futures as you want. If you want to just trade the S&P 500, NASDAQ, and Dow, you can do that. To do so, you can open an account directly on the Lightspeed website, but you have to make sure you choose the futures account type. If you choose just the regular default account type, you're gonna get a stock trading account. But you have to choose futures, open the account, and you can trade. We also have options on futures that are available. You can trade those as well without the PDT rule. And another question that people ask, so the futures trading account is completely separate from a stock and options account with us. If you did want to do both, there are traders that want to trade stocks and options as well as futures. You'd have to open up 2 accounts. One futures account has to be funded separately. The other account would be your stock and options account, and again, it has to be funded separately. Someone asked, do you get level 2 with the futures account? And is there any limitations on the platform with futures? You do get level 2. As far as limitations, I guess you'd have to specify what you're talking about. I really don't know of any limitations. Diego asked a good question. So if you're trading stocks or options and you in a cash account and you use all of your buying power on one day, that means you cannot trade until 2 days later. That is correct. So if you have a $10,000 account, you buy $10,000 worth of stock, you sell it on Monday, you buy and sell it on Monday, you cannot trade again at all until Wednesday. Anthony asks, what's the leverage on a futures account? Standard is that you don't get leverage. It's 1-to-1. Many of the common futures, S&P 500, NASDAQ, QQQ, whatever, is right around $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 for each futures contract. We do have a list of the specific requirements on our website, so you would have to look at it. Some of the other contracts are lower. Some of them are higher, but you would have to look to see what the requirement is. For those people that qualify, we do offer 2-to-1 leverage and 4-to-1 leverage for futures, but you must qualify for that. So other options, if you don't have the 25,000, swing trading. Many traders with less than 25,000 don't day trade, but they swing trade, meaning that they get into a position on, say, Monday and don't close it out that day, but they might close it out the next day or the following day or even later. Of course, you have to have, that has to be part of your trading strategy, and you have to know, what your plan is, what your entry, your exit, your stops are. Obviously, you need to have a plan, but there are traders that do that, and some of them are very successful doing it. Unfortunately, trades do go against people, and people that swing trade do get stopped out the same day that they get into the position. If that happens, those trades are considered day trades, and they count as one of the 3 day trades that you can do in any rolling 5-day period. So you do have to be careful of that. I have seen where swing traders, someone who doesn't intend to do any day trades, they accidentally become a pattern day trader because they get stopped out on multiple swing trades the same day, and they do get labeled as a pattern day trader. So you do need to be aware of that. Let's see, questions. Someone asked, how does one qualify for futures leverage? It's really based on, your general suitability review. They look at your experience, how much you fund with, that kind of thing. So it varies, but they do look at your general suitability and how much you fund with. Jorge asks, if I transfer stock, Jorge, can you clarify your question? I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. If you could type that out again, I'd appreciate it. Someone has a just general question. We'll answer that. Mark asks, when are trading fees taken out and how? So every time you trade, the commission and the routing fee is added or subtracted directly to the trade. So if you buy, $1,000 worth of stock, and your commission rate is $4.50, you're debited with $1,004.50. Same thing with routing fees. So if as you buy and sell, your fees are taken out with each individual trade. Here's a good question. Timothy asks, if you do violate the PDT rule, will your broker notify you? And if so, does the account become restricted? I would say yes. I mean, we notify people, and your account does become restricted. So, if for some reason they don't notify you, it's unusual, but you do get a message on the Lightspeed website. So with every account, we definitely want people to log into your account on our website. Our website shows any margin calls, any restrictions, your buying power, all of your trades, your fees, your commissions. So everyone is notified through the website. Absolutely. All right. So I just wanted to clarify and really state that, we do not recommend any of these options discussed during this webinar. Simply laid them out for you as options to consider. You and you alone must determine if any or none of these options is right for you. You have to have experience. You have to know what you're doing. You have to lay out a plan of action and have a fail-safe. If things don't go your way, what are you going to do? How are you going to do it? Every trader must really come up with what their plan is and adhere to it. All right, any other questions? Jorge asks if you can get leverage greater than 4. For all retail traders, the max that you can get is 4-to-1 leverage. There is something called portfolio margin, which does allow for greater leverage, but that's something offered really to qualified investors. You must fund an account with $175,000 or more, and it's really designed for sophisticated, high net worth traders. So I'm going to finish up. I have a few more slides to go. If you have questions, please type them in now. So platforms that we offer to trade equities and options. Lightspeed Trader, that's our primary active trader platform. A great number of our traders use the Lightspeed Trader platform. It's designed for quick order entry and execution. Sterling is, I would say just as good as Lightspeed Trader. It's a little bit more robust, has a little bit better of a charting package, but is also, a very quick platform. LiveVolX is it does trade equities and options, but it's really designed for the advanced options trader. It has some really cool options analysis features and whatnot. Very good platform. The ES, formerly Realtick Pro, you can trade equities, options. You can also trade futures on that platform. So if you do want to trade stocks, options, and futures from one platform, you can open an account using that platform. You'd obviously have to have the 2 accounts, one for stocks and options, one for futures. You can also trade futures on CQG. For anybody that wants to try a demo of any one of these platforms, you can go to our website, lightspeed.com, click on Try a Demo, and then select your trading platform. There's a drop-down where you can choose which platform you want to use. You can always email me directly. My email is jely@lightspeed.com. I'm sorry, jely@limebrokerage.com. I think both work, but the email that I use is jely@limebrokerage.com. Let's see. I see a few more questions here. Wow, a lot of questions came in. Yeah, a lot of questions here, so we'll try to go through those quickly. Can we get 4-to-1 leverage on leveraged ETFs? Typically, the answer is no. They do restrict leverage on already leveraged securities. Some of them you may be able to get some leverage on, but I don't think there are any available at 4-to-1. Some of them don't allow any leverage at all. Platform fees, there are platform fees. So the Lightspeed Trader, which is our main platform, is $130 per month. That fee gets reduced by the commissions that you generate each month. So most active traders do enough trading where that platform fee is waived. Let's see. Just going to type my email address in here. Someone wants it. Let's see. I just posted my email address for everyone to see there. Someone has an example here. What if I have 20,000 in shares for long term in my account and I keep 10,000 for day trading? You could do that, and I do know some traders that do. So, if you have we'll just say IBM because it's one of the biggest companies out there. We'll just say you have a $20,000 worth of IBM. You've had it for 10 years or however long you've had it, and you want to use that as an asset to day trade. You could do that. You put that into your account, so you have $20,000. Put $10,000 in cash in on top of that. That gives you an equity of $30,000. So as long as you keep your equity above 25, you can day trade. And you could also, depending upon whether it's part of your strategy or not, you can get margin leverage on your $20,000 worth of IBM. So if that's something that you wanted to do, you could. Someone asks, which of these platforms is the closest to Thinkorswim? I would say, it's really hard to say. I mean, they're all so different. They do different things. Some do charting better than others. Some do order entry. So it's really hard to say. The Lightspeed Trader platform is designed for quick order entry and execution. It does not have all the bells and whistles and features and functions of Thinkorswim. Realtick does have a lot of features, bells and whistles. If you're trading options, I would say LiveVolX. Someone here states that he has friends using a couple of the large online firms out there, some of the big ones. They complain of massive delays in order entry and execution, and they want to know if we have orders routed directly to the exchange. So I would say yes and no. I mean, our systems work in multiple different ways. We do have some direct routes. We have other routes that a lot of traders use that are not direct, where they do go through a third-party partner and then get routed to an exchange, and that's fairly common with what we do at Lightspeed. But the way we have it set up is that we have it set up so there aren't delays. There are not delays in order execution or reporting. So even though some of our orders or a lot of our orders may go through a third party, there's no delays in execution or trade reporting. With that said, we also do have some specific routes that are direct routing. A lot of questions here. I've funded an account, haven't gone live. Can I still use a demo? You can request a demo, Diego. We don't offer demos on a long-term basis, but we can give you a demo to test out the system, to try out hotkeys and whatnot. You can sign up for one on the website or email me. Aslam, I'm not sure what TI is. Is that Trade Ideas? Derek, who obviously is a customer or has used the platform before, he states Thinkorswim is not apple to apples with Lightspeed, and that's a good comparison. I mean, they're really much different platforms. We're kind of getting off topic here. I do have a couple more things I did want to show you, but let's see. We've got a couple more questions. Is there any real problem getting short trades filled if they are not marked hard to trade? So the way we have it set up, all stocks are labeled as one of three things: easy to borrow. If a stock is easy to borrow, you can place a short trade and get a fill right away. As long as it's a marketable trade, it's going to get filled right away, almost immediately. There's going to be no delays. I mean, if the price is there and it's at your price, it's going to get filled. The second label for stock is locate required. That is a stock that is not easy to borrow, but we could possibly locate shares for you. So if you can email us directly, or we can set up a feature on the trading platform called short request. On the platform, you type in the symbol, the number of shares, you hit go. It comes back within a second or so and tells you whether we were able to locate shares for you. And it tells you what the cost is. I've seen the cost vary greatly, from 10 cents for 100 shares up to $20 or $30 for 100 shares. I would say the average cost might be 30 or 40 cents for 100 shares, or it's common, I should say, that it's 30 or 40 cents for 100 shares. But I have seen it vary greatly. So you hit submit, it comes back, it tells you what the cost is. You can either hit accept, and when you hit accept, you're going to be charged that fee, and then you can short those shares as many times as you want. So for example, if you request 500 shares, you short 500, you cover 500, immediately the 500 shares is available for you to use again to short. So you can use it as many times as you want during the day. And the locate is really just for day trading. If you hold the short overnight, there could be overnight short position fees. All right, I think I got through all the questions. Let's see what I got here as far as slides. So we have a couple of promotions available for new accounts, and both of these are very valuable if you're an active trader. For equities and options traders, we will rebate you 50% of your equities and options commission for the first 3 months up to $10,000 back. So what happens is you have to fund your account with $25,000 or more. You have to maintain $25,000 for the first 3 months. After the 3 months is up, we'll rebate you back 50% of the commissions that you generated during those first 3 months, up to a maximum of $10,000. And if that interests you, if you go to that link there, you can find all the details. But the promo code for the website is 10K2020, so 10K2020. And if any of you are new traders and you do decide to open an account with Lightspeed, if you choose me as your salesman when filling out the new account application, I will be more than happy to help you out. So on that first field, first page, right where you enter the promo code, there's a question that asks if a salesperson helped you. If you enter or click on the drop down, choose Joe Ely, E-L-Y, I'll be glad to help you. We have a promotion for futures traders as well, very similar to the equity and options offering. We'll rebate you 50% of your futures commissions for the first 3 months, up to $10,000 back. And there is the URL for the web page that has the details. All right, let's see. I don't see any new questions. All right. So there we go. We're on to the end of the webinar. One lucky attendee of this webinar will be randomly selected to win a Lime duffel bag. So let me just pull up a list of our attendees, and we'll choose someone here. got a lot of people in this event. That's great. All right, so I'm going to choose one person randomly. If you don't respond within, say, 10 seconds, we'll move on to the next person. And also, if for some reason you just don't want a Lime duffel bag, just let me know. I'd be more than happy to give it out to someone else. All right, let's see. How about Ed Hernandez? Ed, are you there? All right, Ed is there. Ed, if you would like the duffel bag, in the questions field here, just type in your address. Only I can see your address, so it's not going to be broadcast out to anyone. But if you type in your mailing address, we'll be happy to get that out to you. Does anyone have questions? I see a bunch of people asking for the duffel bag. No questions. Ed, if you can just reply back, letting me know if you'd like that duffel bag, I'd appreciate it. And type in your mailing address. All right, there we go. Ed is our winner. We have his mailing address. We are good. So this last slide again, it's just my contact info. Again, my name is Joe Ely, Jely at limebrokerage.com. I really appreciate everyone's time and attendance. I hope that that you learned something tonight, and hope to see you in some of our next events. Thank you all. Have a good night.